that's just scratching the surface of what we're going to get into this year.
Can you hear it now? Yeah. Light in the Darkness, the ViDoc.
And Season of the Risen is chapter 1 and the beginning of the end for the Light and Darkness saga.
I'm gonna put this in here.
Really getting to the core of what it means to be a guardian. We are looking at and asking big questions about the light and darkness.
We have a big bad that we've been anticipating for a really long time coming back in the form of Savathun.
Savathun's had a hand in most of the major conflicts that we've been involved with.
We've heard about Savathun for years and just bits and pieces, and then like you see it slowly building over seasons
Giving you goosebumps?
until
What?
we come to this
The
huge
game.
critical point.
Savathun's no longer just someone you hear about.
She's not just interfering in little ways. She's now ready to take center stage.
Sight. 1, 2, 3.
Savathun, she's larger than life. We wanted to make her feel imposing and very regal and dancing through motion in some way.
The light offers us a fresh start.
She's very manipulative. She is very ethereal, but she also has like that creepiness to her as well.
She promised she'd help us out with this pyramid ship problem that's coming our way. But the reality of the situation is Savathun is only on Savathun's side. We've outlived our purpose, and it is to Savathun's benefit to wipe us off that chessboard.
She's lived among us. She has played us for fools. She knows us inside and out. And she's been a step ahead of us, like, the whole way. So how do you beat someone like that?
It isn't too late. You can still be forgiven. Be careful.
I'll hold you to it.
In order to beat Savathun, you need to understand Savathun.
Her throne world is a manifestation of Savathun's own personality, which is in Witch Queen going through a transformation through the light.
She has these areas that she's kind of trying to shun and push away. For the old hive areas, it's much more atmospheric, it's very dense, it's very claustrophobic, it's spooky.
I love that. I love this area.
Then when you make your way into the Lucent hive area, it's a lot more open and broad. It's definitely brighter, it's definitely more lively.
We want people to look at it like an impressionist painting, something that's very pretty from far away, but as you get closer, it's not really what it seems. It's very unsettling.
Oh, bro.
You're looking at shapes, you're looking at these things within the world, and you're not entirely sure what they are, and you have to get close, and you have to investigate.
What's really going to be exciting for players is that they're going to get to play that part of psychic detective, trying to solve the many mysteries of the throne world.
Finding a dungeon.
What's up, baby?
You have to kind of think your way through. You have to figure out, like, hey, what do I need to do next in order to get to the end of this?
We've got Savathun, right? The Queen of Lies. So this campaign is full of surprises.
Savathun has all these abilities, and you got to make sure that all of the abilities of the
look at the
bosses
necklace,
would
man.
be something worthy of her. And as I kept thinking about this, you know, I
And the
felt like I
weapon.
was really becoming Savathun.
Oh, that's really cool, man.
We've also added the legendary difficulty, which is called Become Legend.
It's not for the faint of heart. It's going to be loaded with these moments that are going to be frustrating, almost like teeth gnashing, but when you get through those encounters, you're going to feel like really accomplished.
Double rewards, yeah.
As people who have worked on raids and dungeons before, being able to broaden that experience for any kind of player who comes in is really important.
If the Witch Queen is the psychic detective fantasy and journey, then Season of the Risen is that same detective throwing on their flak jacket and defending Earth from the Hive Guardians.
I don't think so, no. I don't think they're getting rid of the 30th anniversary Aqua. I think that's gonna stay there.
When Savathun shows up on our doorstep with the light, the first person to lend us help is Keitel.
You want us to hit them.
I need us to hit them.
She's got this light suppressing technology that the Cabal were using in Season of the Chosen, and now she's going to help us use that against the Lucent Hive.
When you're working with Keitel, she has a different approach. It's not about asking questions, it's about getting in there and extracting.
We don't really understand what happened when Savathun actually was able to take the light. So the campaign in Season of the Risen in many ways is about that story. Guardians need to stop Savathun's advance beyond the throne world. And Savathun poses an existential threat to everyone because she basically has an undead army.
The season actually looks really, really cool. I think this season looks...
Fighting the Lucent Brood, this isn't our first time in the game fighting other light bearers, but it is the first time that we'll be facing other light bearers that have much more relentless motives.
When you look at these Hive Guardians and when they do their abilities, you immediately make that connection like, oh, they are using my powers against me. As soon as we see the Knight pop its super and it has 2 shields, you immediately are like, oh yeah, I see that connection. And then it's like, and then you're like, it hits you with those things and then you're dead. And it's just an amazing experience.
The Guardians themselves kind of feel like a fire team that you're fighting against. You got every class represented.
The Acolyte, when that character casts,
Money Mountain Man,
does
what's up,
very
man?
similar thing as the player, like the Arc Wizard. The sparks go out, it's ready to go. If you're not smart about it, if you're not paying attention, you are essentially going to have to play that fight over again.
Bro. If you're successful in taking down one of these Hive units that are wielding the light, you actually have to go up and kill their ghosts.
That was like one of my favorite things that we were able to do in this game, is just that moment where you crush the ghost.
It's kind of this moral dilemma. A ghost is your companion, and now suddenly you have one in your hand and you're about to crush it.
The first time it happens, you're like looking at your hand like, I can't believe what I've just done. Am I doing this? Should I be doing this?
I have a ghost.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What
Like,
is going on?
Oh my god, that's so cool.
Savathun and her Lucent Brood are the most dangerous enemies we've faced so far. And so we're going to need better, more powerful weapons and tools to fight against that threat.
We did a bunch of work early on looking at various different types of weapons we could add to the sandbox.
We wanted to introduce a special weapon archetype that was effective more at a middle range, but also had these kind of additional roles associated with it.
That looks really cool.
The glaive is a projectile weapon, and it is a shield, and it's a melee weapon. We wanted to keep that experience in first person. It has an immediacy that you don't really get when you're using a sword because the camera is so much further back. Because this is also a projectile weapon with a slower moving projectile, the onus of skill on aiming these weapons is about leading and compensating for the speed of the projectile and anticipating that. If you're in a really difficult
like a shotgun. I don't like the sound of the glaive with the sound when shooting.
Out in the open where you normally wouldn't
That's
be
my
able
only
to
complaint.
get
It sounds
to
like
them.
a
You can
shotgun.
bring that
Why does
shield
it
up
sound
and
like a
actually
shotgun?
Get the revive and then fall back. Glaives originate with Savathun trying to steal an extremely powerful weapon for her own use, and players will use the weapon crafting recipes that they find throughout the campaign in order to reconstruct this incredibly powerful and incredibly ancient weapon.
I love it.
When you put together your glaive in the campaign, you just get a taste that that's what you want to do for the rest of the weapons that you get.
Yeah.
Weapon crafting lets you target a specific role and go and build that, and you know how long it's going to take you to get there, and you get exactly the thing that you want.
I really want to see what people do with it and like the feedback that we're going to get and people sharing all of the things that they're doing with that new system.
You're creating your Guardian, and you want to be able to shape your Guardian into what you want them to be. And this gives us a great opportunity to continue to do that.
Nice.
This is a really big season for weapons in particular. We've got 8 brand new exotics. The Osteostreaker exotic submachine gun. This is something which Guardians have made, but it's modeled after weapons of
Weapon
sorrow,
crafting is
like
going to be
the
great.
one in
Almighty
Touch
Builder.
Palace.
That's one thing we've been waiting for on Destiny for a very long time.
Land on a target and then explode in this poison burst. We have an exotic machine gun where the whole idea is
weapon charms.
Be the Colossus. You can launch a barrage of up to 20 homing missiles.
It's a comical amount of projectiles on the screen.
What?
We're doing an exotic
That's the
glaive
Warcliffe
for each
coil?
class this time, and the
On a
exotic
heavy
perks
machine
tie
gun?
deeply into the mechanics of the classes.
Oh my god, I love it.
I think they're going to be
Love it.
really cool additions to build crafting. We've got, you know, the usual suite of raid weapons, destination, activity, seasonal. I recounted it this morning, and I think it's about 50 new weapons.
50 new weapons?
You're going to have 2 new exotic armors for each class, totaling 6, 1 stasis, 1 non-stasis. The Titan Stasis Exotic. Cast your barricade, and instead of, you know, this Traveler's Light and the Rally Barricade, you create a giant wall of ice. Even though this thing is massive, you still get all the benefits of a Rally Barricade.
Oh, wow, really?
Warlock Void Exotic. We called them the Devouring Rift legs because we wanted Empowering Rift to feel like it had a place in endgame content the way that Healing Rift does. Empowering Rift doesn't heal you. Well, what if it did?
empowering Rift actually healing you.
16, you're going to see a massive revamp to the
Welcome
Void
back,
subclass
Warlocks.
systems across all 3 classes. This is a huge update and will allow players to build craft in ways that they've never done before.
One of the things we wanted to do is create a core set of verbs like we did with Stasis.
Anyone can run suppressors now. I think that's the pretty cool thing to be able
I'm going to be running suppressor grenade prop.
We wanted you to feel like you were the energy vampire. Feel like you were
I
the
love the aesthetics of the actual new weapons. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Sentinel Titan. So
I love the aesthetics of the new weapons, man.
Bastion, a new Titan aspect where you take your big old Sentinel shield, slam it into the ground, and create this void barricade that's going to apply overshield to you and your buddies.
My favorite aspect is probably Child of the Old Gods. As this warlock controlling space and time, I'm able to rip a hole into another dimension and then pull out this little like sentient black hole. Whenever I target an enemy, my little black hole buddy is gonna fly over there and start draining their life force.
What?
The Void 3.0 update is really setting the stage for how we're thinking about updating subclasses for the rest of the year.
We're gonna extend this philosophy to Solar and Arc. Solar obviously is gonna be about burning, but there's this other component to Solar, and that's healing. Arc is all about chaining. It's all about lightning, direct attacks, quickness. We're gonna take the fantasies that you know and love today. We're gonna embellish them. So what you'll see is like all of the new abilities, all the new actions you take, reinforce that to the core.
Oh my God.
Pretty excited about it.
Oh my God.
Witch Queen is very much the culmination of the last 6 to 7 years of just Destiny altogether. And really, this is starting the road to the final showdown. But things aren't necessarily just dark and light anymore. There's a lot more nuance in the game.
It's going to be a real fight. Players have something that they're really going to be challenged by.
I can't wait for everyone to find out what's been going on with Savathun. Like, I'm excited.
I think Warlocks are back, actually.
Guardians are so clever, aren't you?
From the throne world to the campaign to the customizable build crafting, it all comes together to make Destiny feel really new and fresh.
We've got more Destiny coming this year than any other year before. It's one of the most ambitious releases we've ever put together, and the team is firing on all cylinders.
Tell me, Guardian, what do you think you're going to do?
I got goosebumps.